Because the president doesn't get Pennsylvania, he's going to be in a lot of trouble for 4 more years. So he'll be back there again.
But if Joe Biden gets in, he's from Pennsylvania. That could be a problem for the president.
He says it a lot.
We're going to talk a little politics with Robert Wolf and another guest about the presidential and Nancy Pelosi and AOC in the next segment.
Jillian's from Pennsylvania.
I am from Pennsylvania, and I'm going to talk about AOC right now. How's that sound?
Good deal.
Perfect.
All the SUVs out there.
All right, JD, thank you. Meanwhile, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi taking on the progressives in the Democratic Party. Watch this.
You got a champion now playing in a way in which we have never seen before since Ken Jennings, I think.
Yeah, that's right. He looks really good.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Janice. 19 minutes before the top of the hour. Democrats already crying foul about Barr's redactions of the Mueller report. But
to know what's in the report, especially when there's no crime, when there's no collusion, and he reminded us that the president is over the executive branch and he's over the DOJ. But on another network, Chuck Todd was saying that the attorney general, he said that this is shameless, it's hubris, and he says this is actually collusion. Watch.
Entitled to his opinion. And one other thing, you just presented me a series of bullet points, fairly enough, devil's advocate, right? I could present to you 5 or 6 others. What about Andy McCabe testifying up on the Hill?
Reminder of the media getting it wrong for the last 2 years. Do you think the media will realize or has realized that and will make it right or apologize?
I'm quite sure that the media is not going to apologize.
Because you served inside the Justice Department. And talk about the task for William Barr today as we get ready for his news conference and for him to lay out this redacted report. It seems like Democrats now are all focused. It was a blow to them, the Democrats, just a few weeks ago when the Attorney General came out and said there was no collusion and that he and Rod Rosenstein, who's been a Trump critic, determined that after looking at all this, that there was no obstruction. So now they want to focus on redactions.
something like that? Or do you think the public's already been braced for those controversial things?
Well, Brian, I do think there may be things in it that represent the Russians reaching out to members of the Trump campaign and the Trump campaign rebuffing them. I think we may see that. And I just want to remind your audience, having a meeting with Russians is not illegal. It's not collusion. It isn't a conspiracy. It isn't colluding to throw the election, nor is doing business in Moscow. Now,
So what happened in 1997? There was a court opinion that held that minors. What happened after that, more recently in the last year, was that the court took that opinion and added on to it, expanded it to also include these family units. So,
first of all, before we get to the recommendations, what do you say about this crisis and how dire it is?
Years ago may not be scandalous now. So that's actually what was argued yesterday. I love when these things are argued because it pushes the First Amendment to its limits.
So if it's scandalous, you can use it as a company, but you can't trademark it right now.
Correct. So if he can't trademark it, he can't stop others from using it.
Right.
The essence of a trademark is that only you can use this to sell your product. Yeah. So there's no way he could be punished for putting this acronym on his own product. So in the past, the Supreme Court has really pushed the First Amendment to the limits. In their most recent case, this word I will use, even though it is offensive.